I wanted to record our business meeting tonight too, because we've got so much good stuff to talk about. Now, before I get started, I have some things I want to share with you, but I would love to cover, or maybe just have you say, this is something I would love to have our business, a long business meeting be about. Do you guys have any input on the part of doTERRA that you would love this meeting to cover? Like, what are you curious about? What could you learn more about? What would help you with the business end of things?
Time management.
Ooh, I like that. Time management.
I would like to work on scripting
Good.
with one another. So like we have these scripts that are kind of canned, but as everyone says, it's great for the person who wrote that script, but how do we work in our own personality into scripting? And so I would like to work on scripting with my doTERRA team audience,
I like it.
and help other people with that as well, maybe.
I like it.
Are
Yeah.
you talking like role playing?
Yeah, kind of like, because sometimes we'll be given a script. There's so many of them. Last night on the business meeting, there was so many scripts, but they don't really sound like us. And so it's taking what's there, making it sound like you so that you're comfortable using it. Just so that you can say, like somebody says, these oils are just too expensive, and yeah, I just can't do that. Well, it's really good to have a script, something that you're used to saying.
Yeah.
So in response to that comment,
Mhm.
what I usually say is, it seems like that at first, but more I use them, the more I realized how much money it was saving me, and they became very inexpensive at that point. That's what I say, because that's me and that's what I've done with it. But it's good to talk through some of those details so that you have a good response. Okay, so I like scripting, but also let's say responses to questions that we all get asked, right? Like that.
Managing how is it Elise says, managing not negatives, but objections. Right.
Yes, managing objections. Okay. All right, what are some other things you'd like to see covered? For those who are popping on, I have some prepared, but right now we're just brainstorming other ideas that we'll have for this type of meeting in the future, so that we can cover things that are meaningful to everybody. Managing objections. Okay. Anything else that would be good to cover in this meeting?
So I think that there are some technologies that are coming around that we could all like get used to using, or get ideas on, how to use some of the new technologies. I know that there's, for me, I have to have like a list. First you do this, then you do this. The go here, go here, go here, go here doesn't work for me.
Yep.
I need a lot more hand holding when it comes to learning new technologies. And
Yep.
so I was wondering if we could do some technology things.
Okay, give me an example. Like one example, maybe.
Okay, specifically like yesterday they were doing the WhatsApp,
Yep.
how to do a WhatsApp class. And it's like, well, you go to WhatsApp and you make a video and you did it, and it was really fast.
And it was way too
and-
much information and so fast that I zoned out as well. Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, but wait, how does one use WhatsApp? I mean,
Yeah.
I know how to send a short message to you or to someone else, but I don't know how to save those
Yep.
messages.
Yep.
ahead of
Well, you know
time
what?
and put those videos. And,
I think what's so
you
oh,
know,
gosh. So I think what's so great about what Amy's doing is she added us all to the WhatsApp, so we get to see what it looks like.
Yeah, we can watch what she does. I got it today too.
And then I think after we all experience what it looks like, maybe we'll have specific questions and, see how to make it effective for ourselves.
And I see here Cleveland put up how to provide the best information in a concise and effective way. I
Yeah.
struggle with making it short and informative. My husband and sister say I talk too much and don't give enough information relevant to them. So Shalene, you and I both know what that's like, to give too much, to bombard them
Yeah.
with information.
So
So maybe even if we just went over the handout that says 3 types of oils, three.
333. Yep, 333.
three-
That would be an excellent thing to cover here. And Cleveland, just know there's answers for that that will help you shorten. And I've got a handout here that's not handy, that I printed off for everybody. We used it at Elite Retreat a year and a half ago. And it is like 2 sides of the paper and everything you need to say. 3 of this, 3 of this, 3 of this. I mean, it's just
Right.
so concise. And so thank you. That's a great idea there. Jenna Lee asked, what's the WhatsApp? Yeah, Cleveland. Oh, that was just thank you, I think. You bet. Jenna Lee asked, what's the WhatsApp? So WhatsApp is actually an app that you get so that when you travel outside of the country, I don't know if you can see this little green circle on your left, I guess, or right, I'm not sure, in the middle of
I
my
say
phone.
it's a lot less, it's a lot more personal. There's more
Yeah.
protection from using it and rather than doing your regular messaging.
Yep, and
app.
you make groups of people. Whenever I've been on a trip outside of the country, the group usually, like I still got Cancun on here from a couple of Cancun trips and Costa Rica on here, and whoever puts pictures on to share those pictures, it just keeps it in a really safe place and has a really, it's just an app that anybody can use, not just US even. So
Yeah.
there's
And
that.
what I think the point of using it for that class is the way that everything lines up in WhatsApp instead of when you text somebody with your regular messaging app, it gets out of order.
Yep.
But when you use WhatsApp, everything stays in a succinct
Yeah.
order.
And if people are using iPhones or Androids or Windows or Google, it doesn't affect what you're having in WhatsApp.
Which is why they're moving to that or trying this out in this area. So I love it. I love it. Okay, anything else you'd like to learn about? I missed the compensation class that we had. Does everybody understand all the compensation details? Could we cover that more?
Yeah, I don't think I ever will.
So I used to
Get
think
the
that-
handout, Christine, that I sent you.
okay,
Yes.
I don't want you guys to feel bad because I think I was probably at least 2 years in, maybe 3 years in, before somebody explained it to me and I went, I get it. I finally get it. And it
Are
took,
you talking about the one that Chad did or Kenny did?
you know what? I don't think it was him that was telling me when I understood it, but he did a very good job explaining it. I think that was after I understood it. But there's just enough strange little twists on the ways they pay us in so many different ways.
Scott Hathaway's the one who got it through to me.
Okay. So we will cover compensation again. I think we'll do that periodically just because it's a great thing to understand. You want to understand it to the point you can tell other people about it. And so we want you to understand it. Now, when we got the blessing of hearing the head of our company talk to us on Saturday, and let's see, we were all here, but Tammy, if you're still listening, we actually had the head of doTERRA take a half hour of his time to Zoom and talk to our team. It was so very kind. And I love the detail he talked about. And he's a numbers guy. And I bet he had his hand in this compensation and the way it is. It might seem difficult, but I promise you guys, once you get it and you understand it all, it will make so much sense. And not only will it make sense, but you will see the generosity of doTERRA in it. They can sit there and say, no, we want to take that bunch of money, or we want that little extra money there. Nope, they give it back to us. And it really makes me happy. So I love that we will cover that again.
I like learning how the deeper you go, the better it is, and the motivation it is to just keep nurturing. And thank you for all the nurturing you do for everybody, Shalene.
Yeah, you're welcome. I want to understand what you said, Jenny. So the deeper you go, the better it is. Do you mean the more you understand, the more educated you are? Do you mean the more
Or the more posterity you have, like on your tree, the more people you have under you, and then under them, and then under them. And you help me in some areas nurture people under me, because they live in your area. Thank you. But to me, it just is it's a give to each other. Like you give to them, and I don't know, it's just a compassionate way to go about it.
It really is. And maybe I think that might be clarified as the doTERRA, shoot, what's the word I'm looking for?
It's not a true MLM in the old fashioned sense of the word, where you make money.
Culture.
Culture. Thank you, Leanne. Thank you, Lee.
Yeah.
doTERRA's culture. And generally, I agree with that wholeheartedly. I don't know if you noticed, but on Friday night at our retreat, when we actually had 2 people come from doTERRA and fly here and come in and visit us in person, they even made a couple comments about the fact that some of our sister teams were there. And we had Amy there and Candy there, and we had Jolene on Zoom. And we treat our sister teams and we treat each other just, yes, what can I do to help you? What can I help do? Even if they're not right under us, because that's the culture of doTERRA. So maybe a little bit more about the culture of doTERRA and how we can continue that on. That's good.
As a side note, it's not a
So
dog.
I had an interesting
Oh,
question.
can you hear me?
today.
Yeah,
Can you
hold
hear me?
on just a second. Let Jenna Lee finish. Yeah.
It's not a dog eat dog culture. And Shalene and I have a nephew that's going to the Mayo Clinic here, becoming a doctor here in Arizona now, and then he's going to go his last 2 years in Florida. One of the reasons he chose the Mayo Clinic for medical school is because the culture is helping. What can our team do? What can our medical team do to help this patient to benefit that patient the most? And that's doTERRA too. What can our team and our little group of people, female, male, do to help our doTERRA clients to help them be healthier?
Mhm. I love it.
Yeah, the sister team thing is kind of interesting because I was asked today, Colleen asked me, so how many people are on our team? And I said, well, you mean my team, Leanne's team, Shalene's team,
Sherry's team,
this
yeah.
team, that team. I was like, what definition are we talking about? Just you and me and our ups, or like the whole thing?
Yeah.
Because they're all over the place. So it was a difficult question to answer.
I would just say we're all on the same team.
We're all on the same team, and maybe financially, when it gets down to how you get paid, we're not all on the same team, but we are all, I love working with you guys, and I feel like we really are on the same team. Last night, Leanne was trying to say, we'll do this class and this class, and Lee was jumping in to say, yep, I'll come there. And I'm like, Lee's one of my legs here, and Leanne's one of my legs here. And you guys just love each other and you support each other. And it just brings me joy. And that's what it is. We're just so blessed. We're so blessed. Okay, I'm going to share with you just a few things, but I don't want to just talk for the next half hour. I would love for you guys to chime in and say, okay, so the way I'm going to approach this is, what we're going to talk about today is, what do you do when somebody says they want to do the business? What's the first thing? Leanne, you're going to be a good one to answer this. What's the
Jump up and down and shout for
Yeah.
joy.
Yeah,
I'm here.
Woo, 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 woo. You bet.
I'm here.
Good job, Lee. Okay, Leanne, what do you do when somebody says they want to do the business?
So right now, my process is to get them a meeting with Sherry. She's made that available to us. So if you don't already know, you can just go to her. You can go to her website, not the team website, but her personal, she does oils website, which is what
Sherry One Life, maybe?
Sherry One Life.
Team One Life.
It's Sherry One Life. Team One Life is for business,
Yeah,
right?
team-
And
team-
Sherry
yeah.
One Life is
My
personal.
past customers on
So I would have to look, to be honest, but
Yeah.
anyways, go to her website and you can book a time with her on the calendar there. So I usually text her after that and make sure that she sees the calendar the spot I picked. And it asks you a series of interview questions for the person that is attending. So I just relay those questions to whoever it is. They give me their answer. So Cleveland went through this process, so she knows what I'm talking about. And that's just to make sure that they're serious and that they understand that we're serious also. So, and then we do this little, probably 30-minute thing, like 3-way with Sherry. And mostly she just asks them, like, what are their dreams and goals? And, how kind of walks through, how does that fit with doTERRA? So she's not going to tell you how to do the business, or she's not going to explain compensation. It's not a technical thing. It's just all about the why, because ultimately people will be driven by that. So, and they get to meet her.
Why do
Oh.
we reach out to Sherry instead of?
Yeah. So, well, ahead of time, I build up Sherry, and in return, when she meets with us, she builds me up as a leader. So we all have good rapport, and we're giving them confidence in our team. Then after that meeting, I would schedule a business one-on-one kind of introduction with them.
I love it. I love that. Now, I would say I probably introduced in 7 years. I can't even tell you how many people that said they wanted to do the business. My problem is, and this is why I want to talk about this today. My problem is this. I hear, hey, I'm interested in the business. And my mind immediately, for the first 3 or 4 years, went to, oh, they want to do exactly what I do. Let me fire hose you with information, right? Because that's all I knew. And I scared most people away, I'm sure, or my disorganization scared most people away. And so I wanted to encourage you, if you do have anybody, because of course we want to enroll people, we want them to become customers, we want to educate them, we want to change their lives with the oil like they've changed ours. I'm not discounting any of that, but tonight business is about, what do you do when somebody says they're interested in doing the business? So we're just going to step beyond that. The step beyond that might be backing up just a little bit to help them as a customer. Because if they're not a good customer and they don't use the products, they're not going to be great at the business either. So I just want you to be aware, everybody needs the love and care of a new customer, even if they come to you saying they're interested in business. They need to understand their LRP order. They need to understand their back office a little bit. They need to understand the products and realize how important it is to start using the products to get used to them and love them, so that you can be a spokesperson for the products. I had somebody reach out to me today and ask so many questions about the shampoo. I was like, okay, fine. What you're saying doesn't sound right. So I got onto doTERRA. Do you know that the little travel packs of our new shampoo don't have the shampoo and conditioner in them anymore? I know. The little
They're just
travel packs,
empty bottles.
they're empty bottles. And they say on them, empty bottles. And I kept trying to tell her, no, they have the shampoo and conditioner in them. And she says, I'm looking at it and it says empty bottles. And so I had to go look. So somebody got that as a gift. I had an extra one, and somebody got it as a gift, and I'm like, they're lucky because they don't come that way anymore. Whoever got it on Saturday.
How much do they cost,
So
those empty bottles?
it was $20 full. It's $8 empty, but it's the
Okay.
case and the empty containers that you can refill and buy your bigger containers. But this particular customer had not tried them yet and wanted to get the smaller kit to try them first. So anyway, we have to keep up on things. I kind of felt like an idiot today. Just I didn't know that. And I looked up, well, you are right. You are
Well,
so right.
sometimes things change overnight and
They
we just don't know.
They do. So that part of our job is also to just stay up on what's going on and tell each other when you see some changes going on so that we can all make sure that we catch on to the details. But if we can help a person that wants to do the business become a good customer, that was number one to me. Number two, try really hard not to fire hose them. There's very few people whose strengths are input number one. Now, I think Janalee and Lee might have input on their top 5. I think
Mine's input
Christine-
number 1.
Okay, Christine, you're one of them. You can probably take it and take it and take it. A lot of people can't. A lot of people, it's just too much information. And so we have to be careful about who we're talking to. I don't mean to bore you, but this is such a good story. So Joe and I were newly moved to Texas. We had a young family and somebody invited us to go have our personality test thing done for the day. We got a babysitter. We went to do this. And it was so funny because I'm sitting there doing it going, Joe, that's the guy over there that used to be the weatherman on KView channel 24 KView News. And he had just been replaced by somebody else. So we're learning our personalities, and that man is super vocal and super off the wall. And it was just Joe and I are just doing our paperwork and learning, and they're teaching us, we're doing these personality things. We learned so much that day. But the comment that man made, he said, they changed the head of KView News. And he called me into his office. And the man said, I went in there with all my ideas. I was going to wear a costume for this weather report. I was going to do that. I mean, this was this crazy guy. And he said, I have just found out that I am full-fledged orange. And that man had no orange in him. If he did, it was locked away in a box in his closet. So it was a color personality test. But what he learned was the way he approached that brand new boss, it completely changed and made him be kicked out of his job. He had no more job and they got a new weatherman. So pretty important to know who you're talking to. And that's kind of a really wild example. But I found just recently I was being introduced to somebody. Oh, I think I was at Janalee's house, and Janalee brought a few people in to talk about oils with me on the day I was in Arizona. And I just remember just so excited to meet them at the door. And I could feel their energy was down here. And my energy was up here. But I had to bring my energy down here because I didn't want to overwhelm the person that was at the door. And we continued to have a one-on-one and did great. But I found I had to lower my energy. So I just want to throw that out there too, as you're talking to people about the business, and they might have come to you for that, but you still need to do what's called kind of matching their energy, because you don't want to overwhelm them just with your energy. And sometimes our excitement and passion for the product is just what overwhelms them. Do you know what I mean? Anybody
So-
have that? Yeah.
We need to take a chill pill.
Yep. And
And that
Yeah.
person that you're talking about, she recently took a personality test and she found out she's the lowest of energy on the spectrum.
interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So you noticed you were
So
learning. Wow.
So it's very
So
interesting.
input is not my number one, but it is in my top 10.
Woo-hoo-hoo. There you go. You're a learner, girl. I love it. Okay, so when we have the opportunity to talk to somebody about the business, we're going to switch gears here just a little bit. Try not to give them all the information at once. And when the reason I fire hosed people and the reason I didn't do it well, we had no paperwork for the first 4 or 5 years that I did doTERRA. In the last few years, they've come out with a builder's guide and the launch guide and the business building guide. doTERRA has beautiful, simple, cheap paperwork booklets for you to say, here's a small booklet about the compensation plan. Here's a small launch booklet that will give you ideas of ways you can start thinking about the business. I didn't have any of that. And so you have tools that can be used. So please be aware of that you have tools that can be used. What do you think? I'd love your input. What you guys think is some of the important ways to tell someone about the business? What are some details that you just wouldn't want to miss telling them?
I want them to know, I want them to know how much support is here for them. And because it makes a huge difference. The type of support that we have is way different than a lot of other network marketing MLMs. From, you know, the ghastly stories of Amway to even Mary Kay. The difference is palpable.
Yeah,
And the way that we are encouraged to speak to people in an uplifting way and not in a, you know, well, what do you mean you're not worth $60? I mean, that it's cringeworthy, you know, the way that we were trained to sell 30 years ago.
Right.
And it's just not that way here.
not.
And
I
that's
appreciate
super
it.
important to me.
I love it. Cleveland said in the chat, community and relationship building. So true. So true. I think we had Patty had Colleen, is that her name? Colleen, that came on Saturday. Sorry, you muted, Patty. Was it Colleen?
Colleen, like
Colleen.
Jolene, but
Okay.
Colleen.
Colleen. So Colleen came in and she only came the last couple hours of retreat on Saturday. And I tell you, when I look at the picture that we took of the team 2 hours later in my kitchen, she just looked like she'd been there for years. She was just grinning and smiling and in the picture and having a great time. And that, I believe, Cleveland, is your community and relationship building just to a T. That's what we are. We just love to include people, make people feel welcome. And if it's right for them, they join us in what we do.
I
And if
want them to know that they can go as fast or slow as they want to go.
I love it.
Set goals and just go at their own speed.
Yeah.
That
Because
was really important to me to hear when Eddie talked about our strengths. Some people, yes, they have the right strengths to go and get to diamond in 2.5 years.
yep.
Some people don't have that kind of emphasis. So I want them to know that they can go as fast or slow as they want.
So what if they want to go super slow? Does that mean you're like, okay, this person's not worth my time?
Nope, because that's how I am, Shalene, and I think I'm worth your time.
You are definitely worth my time. Some people that want to go slow still may want to help educate, and they still will love the product and they still will order the product. However, you never know when somebody who's going to go slow is going to turn on that engine and start going fast. So of course, anybody that wants to build, you would love to help them. We just need to help them at the level they want to be helped. And to me, that's the most important thing I wanted to get across to you today. Thank you, Lee, for bringing that up. If we can help each person do it at the level they want it, they are going to continue. If I'm thinking they want to do what I do and they don't, I'm just going to scare them away. If I assume that they just want to have their oils paid for, but they really want to be doing what I'm doing, I'm also giving them a disservice. We want to help them where they are at.
And I can tell y'all that from personal experience that I don't have a lot of time. You know, I am a single person, yes, with no kids. So y'all think I have all the time in the world, but I don't.
But you work.
I'm in a new city and I work all the time, and there's not a lot of time that I can devote to the actual selling. But
Yep.
there will be one day. And when I meet people who ask me, oh, what is that that's on your desk? Or, oh, when I tell them about how, you know, oils have saved me with my sciatica before I can get to the chiropractor so I can actually move.
Yes.
You know, those are the things that help me. Thank y'all for not thinking I'm just a dud, because one day I'll be selling these things like nobody's.
Yes, you will. And you will have all the input and knowledge that you need because you're giving a little bit of time to learn along the way.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. And Cleveland put in the chat, we all have different social skills and different talents, but we have all found our place and roles in the team. It allows us to learn from one another and focus more on where we excel most. How I love that. Yep, very, very, very true. All right, so if you were to run into someone, I want to go just a step further, who said, you know what, I want to do this business and I want to do what you do. I am so excited to do it all the way. Now, I love Leanne's first step, get them on a three-way with Sherry. I think she's experienced in pulling people into the business, obviously, and is a great person to help with that. But what would be some good next steps?
Well, getting them on the, getting them on the calls and the email lists for these things, and having them come to, like, even if you have to, like, I'm coming to your house with my phone and we're going to get on this call together. And I'm going to introduce you to people and that sort of thing. Now that we can, like, gather in small groups and large groups or whatever, bring them to everything you can. And just like, this is the way we do. If you have classes and they want to be new and they're new to it, bring them to your class and they're your assistants. They're handing out samples or whatnot. That's just probably the best way to do that.
I love it. I love it.
And offer your services if they want to have a class on their own,
You
say,
bet.
hey, I'm there for you.
Yeah.
Right, Colleen, they have to learn how to prepare and invite and present, or they can't enroll, and then
Yep.
they won't have success. So
Yeah. So say that again, Lee, so people can catch what you meant by pipes.
prepare, invite, hang on, present, enroll, and support.
Yep.
And I said 6.
But you're right. Support them once they're going. I love, again, that's doTERRA's wording and in their booklets to follow the pipes. And what a great visual. We're helping people move through a pipe and a pipeline and building their own pipeline of success. And that is exactly what doTERRA has provided for us.
Instead of carrying buckets.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna go since I've been raising my hand and it's not.
Oh, I
right.
thought that was a clap. I thought that was a
No.
clap for somebody. I apologize. My Zoom. Sorry, I don't know.
Okay. Well, what I wanted to say about people knowing what they should know about the business, I think, is that just the world vision, the world embracing vision that doTERRA has, so that every action that we take in doTERRA is helping not just somebody, it's helping multiple people. It's helping someone with their health, it's helping someone with their finances, and it's helping someone with their job, like in a third world country. There's a lot going on here. So that's a huge, just an awesome thing to be a part of. And then as far as like next steps to take with a person, definitely the strategy sessions.
You cut out. Were you done?
I just said the strategy sessions.
Yeah. So elaborate
Okay.
on strategy sessions for me.
Well, some people call them mentor calls. I'm switching to strategy session. So just to individually support someone with wherever they're at. So when Shalene talked about meeting them where they're at, that is a very customized way to do that, since it's just one-on-one, and you can find out, where they're at and how you can help them in the next steps.
I love it. And calling it a strategy session makes you leave that discussion with action steps. Because we all spend time, hopefully, talking to our mentor that's above us and getting help. But if we don't have action steps to move forward, we're not going to keep moving. So I love that strategy session idea. Cleveland said having a one-on-one to show them the top 10 oils, have them learn about them and sponsor them, have them buy the oils, but provide the sampling supplies. I love that. And walk them through sampling process and be with them ups and downs, especially the downs, because we've all had those days. That is for sure. We have all had those days. I have had days where I wanted to quit and not do it. And then somebody said, you can't quit unless you've had a great day with doTERRA and then you quit, because that means you're really ready to quit. But if you have a bad day, you can't quit on a bad day. And I really love that, because when you're having a good day and somebody's responding to you and enrolling and loving what you've just shared with them, there's no way you're quitting. You're like, I just changed their life, like my life's been changed. I'm not quitting today. And so you just can't quit on a bad day. You just got to keep going, because we've all had the down days. I love what you said, Cleveland, but what you said also reminded me, because you're like, we got to do this with them and this with them and this with them and this with them. And you start to look at all the things in the chat and all the things we've talked about. What are we doing? We're fire hosing them, people. And so whatever we do, remember to do it calmly in bits and pieces that will help them take it as they can take it. They can learn bit by bit what comes along. I think doTERRA is, I used to say doTERRA is easy. It's not easy. doTERRA is simple. It is simple to understand. It is simple that they've given us tools. It is simple to do, but it's certainly not easy. There are a lot of steps, and you do have to learn a few hoops to go through and be a little understanding of a company that is growing so very fast. But we can help people slowly to become interested in the business. Okay, one more thing that I wanted to cover on retreat night that I didn't cover was, what do you say when somebody asks you what you do? So I would love, if you want to put it in the chat, you can. What do you say when somebody says to you, what do you do?
I kind of stole this from Leanne because I loved the way she put it. And it was helping people get off of their prescription through natural ways.
Yeah.
On those lines. And I went ahead and I took that, because I feel like it's such an elegant way to put it, especially because it really reinforces that if you're willing to give multiple pharmaceutical drugs a chance, all in the name of finding something that is going to help you, why not give something natural that exact same chance? Even if the first thing or the second thing doesn't work out, there is something out there that will help you, but it's natural. Your body is going to respond so much differently to it than the pharmaceutical drugs that you may be taking. So I really took that part.
Cleveland, say it one more time. Hey, Cleveland, what do you do?
I help people get off of their prescriptions through natural ways, using oils.
Using essential oils. Okay, I want you to say that 100 times before we have another meeting.
Okay.
I say it while you're sweeping, say it while you're doing dishes. Just get so comfortable saying it, because it still sounds like this is what I'm going to say when somebody asks me, instead of what you say.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Practice, yes.
Yep, we want to be
I will continue to say it.
smooth, so smooth. All right, Lee's, I'm a health and wellness advocate. Now, Lee, I'm going to challenge you to find a way to say the same thing without the word advocate in there, because I'm not very smart, and I'm sorry, I admit this all the time. I still, the word advocate doesn't mean anything.
Advocate gets you, huh?
Yep, advocate gets
I'm
me.
a health and wellness solution provider.
Oh, now that speaks to me. That's in words I can understand.
How about a consultant, Lee?
Or a consultant. Yeah.
Yep, that works too.
Patty,
And
I'm a certified.
Patty, I think oil maven fits you beautifully.
Yes,
So
it does.
you're
It
a
does.
certified oil expert.
And you help people use oils therapeutically. Yep, I really like that. So you don't have to say right now what you would say, but try to figure out what you want to say. I have stayed away from my sell essential oils because I wasn't comfortable with that. I've always said I love to educate about essential oils, but Leanne pointed out that doesn't tell people that I sell them, and I need to tell them I sell them. So I need to revamp too, and I want us to just be super comfortable, because that question comes up a lot, and it might give us a chance to share what we're doing with people. So love our discussion tonight. Thank you all for being a part of it. I feel like we are going to accomplish a little bit more in the business end of things by having a longer section one time a month. We'll still have our short business ones. I think it's great for you guys that are going to take turns doing those to have a chance to just lead some section that you want to share, whether it's about self-development, mind, focus, if it's about some particular point of the business guides or something, whatever you decide to share on the business when I've assigned you to do a little bit after the Tuesday night classes. That'll be great. I want to end with one more story today. So I helped somebody on the phone today. I had a lot of my grandkids here, and I had to have an alarm go off to remind me to do a Zoom with this lady. She joined. I did not know that she was going to get on LRP. She got on LRP. She's been ordering a lot of product. She has not been healthy. For 6 months, she has not been healthy. And last month, her order of 228 PV went through for the second time in a row. And I had already had the wellness consult. I'd already taught her how to go in and do. I'd even reminded her. I said, it still says 228 in your cart. You might want to change your cart before your date. And she didn't change it. And she got the same bunch of products again. And so today was 2 days from that 228 going through for a third time. And I said, can we Zoom, and I'll teach you how one more time how to change. She said, oh, I would love that. So she got on the screen, and I want you to know she looked like a different person. She has been on LLV and DDR Prime and is feeling so much better. She's she's probably 75, but she looks so good. And she has been struggling and now is feeling so much better, and went on about how good she is feeling. And I'll just tell you that this is why I do this. I do this because it is helping people. And when they decide to really use it, it does help them. And we are changing lives. So have a great attitude and get out there and change more lives. Love you guys.
Wait.
For your time.
Do you have like a couple minutes?
We do.
We
We do. We have 2 minutes.
Awesome. Can we iron out a few details? I was texting everybody, but I
Yes.
got a little bit of response, but not a lot.
Go
So
for
I
it.
just wanted to see, I didn't know if people just didn't have time to respond yet, or if they didn't care. And it's okay if you don't care, but I kind of wanted to know. So I'm trying to plan, the topics of these upcoming classes and the flare times or flare events. And so we have, the first one's going to be bingo, and then walking at a trail. And the second one is at Patty's house. So I had just suggested game night, but or we could do something different. Patty, I mean, I think you should definitely be involved as part of that consultation.
Okay, so the Traveler Survival Kit Make and Take is going to be at 6:00 p.m. at my house.
Yeah.
Okay, so then what happens after that is going to take place during dinner time.
Yeah.
So we can do a for like, I guess starting at like 7 p.m. right? Maybe we could do
Maybe if we have people, it might go later than that. It depends how many questions they have and stuff. But it's a Friday night, and I mean, I don't know how.
It's a Saturday night.
I'm sorry, it's a Saturday night. It's a weekend, so
I think game sounds fun.
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah,
to me too.
I like games. We have a few party games that are kind of interesting to play. That I think they're smaller, kind of card game-ish kind of stuff. But
okay.
tell me.
Anybody
First of
play
all,
Mexican train?
Y'all have to give me a really
Yes.
good number of people who are coming, because I don't mind showing you that I have no chairs in my dining room. They're all in storage, so I have to go get the chairs.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we might have
We
guests
have
too.
chairs. They're just not here. Yeah, so we need to
That is-
have give me a number.
Well, the thing is, I think we should plan for a good outcome. We're going to put these flyers up at the booth. So we're not, I mean, we can advertise to RSVP for a free oil if you want to do that, or like one of the free make and takes. You want, okay,
Yeah,
and
yeah, we can
maybe
do
that
that.
means we'll get
I have
some
48,
RSVP.
I have at least 60 empty bottles with roller tops. So
Great.
yeah, we will. And
Okay.
I'm out of black pepper and pink pepper. So, and I'm getting close to helichrysum too. So I'm ordering those for May 2nd. So they should be in by Saturday.
Okay.
So,
So-
Okay, we're out of time, Leanne. Keep going just real quick so we can cover the other dates. that
Okay.
we wanted to-
So, okay, so game night, that's good, and maybe we can figure out a dinner plan. But what I was trying to say is if ideally we have some customers who are excited, they just stay and they play with us,
Yeah.
right? Okay, and then the next one is May 10th at 10 a.m. Patty is teaching that on Spectrum. Patty, do you want to do that at my house? Did you like that, or did you want to host it?
yes, I thought
Okay.
their messages may have gotten garbled. Yes, I like the idea of having that one at your house.
Okay, okay.
It's centrally located, and so whatever we want to do for Team Flair afterwards would kind of be for you, right? Because it's your
Yes.
house.
So
Okay.
I suggested frisbee golf. That sounds fun. Do people like?
I've never
Again,
played
we're
frisbee
hitting
golf. I love
lunchtime.
it. I
We're
love
hitting
the idea.
lunchtime when that class ends too, so.
That's
you
true.
can-
And the heat of the day, Leanne, for outside kind of.
I know, but I feel like our options are at 10 a.m. or, after that, or at the nighttime. I feel like outside events aren't as great
Right.
at like
You're right.
I agree.
8.
Could always put on some wild orange after the sun goes down. Wonderful bug repellent. Everyone
Nice.
smells so good.
I like that.
Okay, and then the third class. So the third and fourth classes, one of them will be John on something about how a scientist was convinced about oils.
Love
something
it.
like that.
Ooh.
You can make it, once upon a time, there was a scientist who didn't believe in oils.
Wait, wasn't there going to be a Shalene class on the 13th? Which was a Friday, the 13th?
It was a
Or was that changed?
possibility, where it was a possibility, but I think Leanne might have
Okay,
whittled
Yeah.
it down what needs to be done.
Yeah, we
Okay.
changed it. I was just trying to spread it out so that we have every other time as a weekend and every other time as a weekday.
okay.
Okay, so the
when
next
is-
one I think is the 20th. Patty, you should have all these in your Google
Yeah.
email
Google list.
now.
All
Okay,
right,
so
I'll check that again.
I think the 20th is another 10 a.m. one, right? No, it's a Friday night one.
Is there
Yeah,
anything on
7.
the 10th?
Yeah, I have 7 because that's why I'm not coming, because I'm gonna have just gotten home from Christine's late on Tuesday and then have to be at the booth probably by 9:30 the next morning. Then I'll be worn out, so.
And by Christine, she means Pittsburgh. So
Yeah, exciting. Lee, would you make sure that you coordinate with Rhonda and Janie on that?
I will. I'm worried about Rhonda especially because she
I
might
know,
be having.
got a lot
her
going on.
surgery. So,
So,
yes, but I will do that.
I have an idea when everyone's ready to close out.
yeah.
Okay,
what,
I'll
Jenny?
try to get through this real quick. So
Okay.
after that, maybe another game night. It's also nighttime. If
Yes.
you have any other ideas, please let me know. I'm trying to get it all ironed out so we can get the flyers ready.
Has
And
has
then-
Shalene taught you guys? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, and then the last one I think is on the 26th. Is that right? Is that the 10 a.m. one? Whatever. The
so.
last one, I don't have a topic for it. I think all of them need a component of one-on-one oils, but I think it'd be smart as we're putting up these flyers to have different topic names that will grab different people, something specific.
Definitely.
If anybody has an idea about another topic.
When are you printing out these flyers? Because I know you mentioned these were going to be at the booth, so I figured it would be a good idea to grab some of those Spanish speakers that we had at the booth.
Yeah, They are gonna be at the booth, so we're printing them. What, Shalene?
Yeah, I'm planning to print them and to get them done on Friday before you guys have a booth Sunday.
Okay, I will brainstorm a couple of ideas and I'll talk to my family members because I feel like that's a great representation of who we're gonna have at the booth.
Yeah.
So I'll see what kind of grabs your attention a little bit more.
The one that stands out in my mind is always sleep. It's just seems to be what so many people struggle with.
Well, we're gonna have an oil study on May 19th is the intro. So the 26th is going to be the exit call that night. So I don't know if maybe we want to do something that will kind of coincide with that, or,
This will be at 10 in the morning. So it might be
oh,
okay.
okay.
Yeah.
So, and y'all want to go swimming after that one? Is that
Mm.
something people like to do?
I would love to go swimming. Where do you have, like, what place do you have in mind?
I do have a pool in my neighborhood, unless we want to venture out further.
Oh, that's good enough for me. I most likely baby Adine will be with me, so I have to make sure it's somewhere where I can keep her like right next to me.
Yeah, of course.
Sounds great. Okay, I think it's gonna
Awesome.
come together. You good, Leanne?
Yes, thank you so much.
Hey, Jenny, your last thought?
My last idea, well, keeping people's names confidential. If we were to reach out to some of our clients or all of them and invite them to share with us some health concerns they have for themselves or their loved ones, and that we will discuss it at keeping everything confidential, names confidential, of course, at a Zoom meeting to kind of counsel together, brainstorm how to help, and then treat every idea as if it's valid, because what works for one person might or might not work for another person's, and every idea is valid.
Yeah. I like that idea. As we work more with people, I find there are people that don't want to say what they're dealing with, or they start out by saying, no, I don't have any problems. But the more they get comfortable with you, they do finally start to say what it is they have going on. So yeah,
And we can say, well, this is not necessarily something you're going through, but something
yeah,
someone else is going through or someone is going through, so they don't feel put on the spot. They can discuss it as if it's someone else, but it's really themselves if they are that private of a person.
yeah. Maybe an open mic night, Tuesday night class where people say ahead of time, please cover this and this. Yeah, I like that, Jenny. Oh, so many good ideas. Gotta go, guys. I got another meeting I'm late for now, and I will talk to you later.
Bye,
You're
Shalene.
all amazing.
Bye,
Good night.
guys. Thank you.
See ya. Love you.